If there is one thing I have learned during this corona pandemic, it is how beautiful Denmark really is. How often we seek abroad for new adventures and scenic views when we also have the most amazing nature just around the corner. And the same goes for gin. Let me show you a brand new series of Danish gins that has taken the very best botanicals from 5 national parks around Denmark and turned their love for these places into 5 very delicious gins. Hi guys, and welcome to High on Gin, and welcome to 5 beautiful national parks around Denmark. Bullseye Spirits has done a new series of gin called Gin Heroes, where they have taken 5 of the most amazing national parks in Denmark and reflected their distinct and characteristic botanicals in 5 different gins. But before we take a closer look at the 5 gins, let's have a quick look at the distillery. Bullseye Spirits is a family-run distillery in Grenaa in Denmark. The distillery is situated on the harbor in this new, very vibrant area, so whenever you visit Grenaa, go visit the distillery. The brand started in 2016 with the release of 2 gins, done in cooperation with Tollen Distillery and Brewery, and was very well received by the public. And this gave the family the confidence to go all in and establish their own distillery, and for the father and his 3 sons to join the project and live out their gin dream. The master distiller is the youngest of the 3 sons, Jens Martin, only 23 years of age. He has been educated extensively, especially on their new 100-liter pot still from the Dutch company called iStill, a new and modern type of pot still that is a bit different compared to a traditional pot still. This one uses, computer software, automation. It focuses on lowering the carbon footprints and stuff like that. And the cool thing about this iStill series is that they have also a smaller 10-liter version that Bullseye Spirits has purchased and that they have plans to bring to each of the 5 national parks once a year to create a weekend on location, open for the public to learn about the national park and the unique nature, the local botanicals, to forage the needed botanicals for the gins, and look at the process of making gin. So make sure to check out the distillery's website for more information to come during the year. But let's take a closer look at the 5 gins here. The foundation for all 5 gins is of course juniper, and then it is coriander, angelica and orris root. And hereby they have created a good foundation for the local botanicals to then be added. How much of these base botanicals are used can vary from one gin to another, but they're always present. Let's take a closer look at the gin that is closest to the distillery, Bjerge. The national park covers an area of about 180 square kilometers of large forests, of moors and open dry grasslands, as well as lakes, coastal area, and of course the sea. And the local botanical forest in this park is juniper, it's angelica, and then it is elderflower. And when you smell the gin, it's quite a very classic in the base, but then the elderflower gives this super delicious, sweeter floral touch to the gin, without being too much. I love when botanicals like elderflower really complements a good gin. It has a quite spicy touch from what could be grains of paradise, and it may even have some cucumber in it. When you taste it, the alcohol, the citrus, the spiciness is more present, giving it this freshness and this edge. The aftertaste, well, it really reveals the elderflower and the sense of cucumber. If you would like a more subtle Hendrick's gin, this one here is definitely for you. It begs for a Mediterranean tonic, maybe with a slice of red grapefruit and some pink peppercorns. Wow. This is a tribute to Thy National Park, the first national park in Denmark. The amazing coastline where the waves from the North Sea washes up on the beach, where you really feel the power of the wind and the sand and the salt. You'll find these beautiful dunes covered with green, gray and purple colors, the more than 200 lakes in the area, and the large forest area with, its many wild animals. This is one of the most deserted areas in Denmark where you really feel the nature in its purest form. I love Thy. And the special botanicals sourced in Thy National Parks are spruce shoots, its heather flowers, and then its buck myrtle. The smell of the gin. Wow, this smell is so fine. It's sweet, it's fresh, it's soft, it's so inviting. Especially the buck myrtle is present with its sweetness and slightly flowery and earthy notes. I could smell to this one all day long. Wow. The spruce shoots are found more in the taste of the gin, where it adds this extra resinous piney notes and this additional freshness, where the heather flowers bring these more floral notes. The buck myrtle, has typically been used locally in schnapps, and it matches herring on rye bread perfectly. The bite and the saltiness from the herring, and the freshness and the floral notes, the sweetness and the acidity from the gin, and the alcohol, it's just match made in heaven. May I suggest that you drink this gin neat. Sprinkle a couple of drops of gin over your herring on rye bread. It is, you drink this instead of schnapps and really see what it can do. The Vadehavet National Park is our largest national park with its, almost 1,500 square kilometers, of which 300 square kilometers are on land. As the park describes it themselves, the national park consists of shallow waters, tidal flats, sandbanks, barrier islands, tidal channels, sand dunes, marshland areas, and salt meadows. This area is home for millions of birds and seals, ducks and geese and so on. And to capture the sea and the saltiness, they have used 4 different botanicals from this national park. One of them is glasswort, known to some as saltwort or chicken toe. It has this very salty umami taste, which really shines through the gin. They have also used sea sandwort that brings a strong kind of cucumbery taste to it. Depending on the plant, it can also add a touch of pea or pumpkin sweetness, and it can even add some bitterness. To add some aromatic to the gin and some slightly bitterness to it, they have also used sea wormwood. As far as I know, they've used the flowering tops and the young shoots to get the most and best out of them. And lastly, they have collected green seaweed or sea lettuce found in the shallow waters. It has a lightly salty sea-flavored taste, much like salty spinach. Sea lettuce is an important part of Korean and Japanese cuisine, and now also in a Danish gin. It adds this umami layer. When you smell it, wow, you really think of the ocean and the saltiness. Oh, wow. Yeah. You also find these flavors in the taste, as it complements the more classic gin that this gin is built upon. And that undoubtedly lies underneath it all. This gin here is perfect to sprinkle on an oyster or to drink to seafood neat, or as a gin and tonic with a Mediterranean tonic, and maybe garnished with some fresh fennel and a few black peppercorns. The salty umami taste just screams for any seafood dish. Skjoldungernes Land National Park is located in the central part of Zealand. Since this area has been inhabited since the Stone Age, this area has many old and very beautiful buildings, watermills and barrows, all situated in the many forests or along the fjords. And it's only about 30 kilometers away from the center of Copenhagen. The gin is inspired by the medieval times and their brewing of mead, where local honey were fermented with water and herbs were added to give the mead extra flavor. You know, in the gin you'll find carrots. That adds both a good foundation for the gin, but also adds this slightly sweetness to it. You'll find dill that brings this delicious freshness, this citrus-like taste with a slight grassy undertone. You know, more in the nose than when you taste the gin. The dill is not dominating at all, but it's just used just perfectly to complement the sweetness and the caramel and not least the floral notes from the honey. This is simply a very well-balanced gin that you could use in a good Indian tonic. And if you like the taste of dill, don't be afraid to use a sprig of dill and a slice of lemon. A fresh gin and tonic like this one would go very, very well with fish instead of white wine. Trust me, you'll be surprised how well this would work with fish. This gin here, the last one, represents all the best from Kongernes Nordsjælland, known for their huge 100-year-old oak trees, known for the second largest forest in Denmark called Gribskov, the sandy beaches in the north, and the beautiful castles like Fredensborg, Frederiksborg, and Kronborg. This gin here really stands out. Just look at the color. Here they have used botanicals like oak wood and walnuts that has been macerating for about 6 months to extract the right amount of taste. That they have used parsnips, and then they have used de-seeded rose hips. How I love this color here. Wow, this to me, it's just a sipping gin. This one here, you will have to treat with the utmost respect and drink it neat, maybe with an ice cube if you prefer. It still has this freshness to it. It has these woody notes, but they have not taken over, but, complements the other botanicals. If I would make a cocktail with this one, it would be a Negroni, as the woodiness and the freshness would do perfectly in a Negroni. But you know what? I think I will have this one neat and honor my own hood, Kongernes Nordsjælland. So guys, there you have it, a beautiful lineup of Danish gin that really reflects the beautiful Danish nature. A series of these fine, tinkling and intriguing flavors. I simply love the fact that you can taste your way through Denmark and at the same time promote the unique national parks that we have here. And remember to check out Bullseye Spirits and their homepage, as the family has great plans to take us out and learn much more about the sights, the botanicals, and the gins. Until next time.